What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Bold and the Beautiful 24 official channel. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button today. Let's get started. Ridge's jealousy ignites as Taylor moves on. Is Brooke's reunion at risk? The Bold and the Beautiful tease that jealousy might ignite as Taylor Hayes discovers a new love interest. Is the reunion of Ridge and Brooke Logan already at risk? Ridge jumped in with Brooke right after dumping Taylor. Following the end of his engagement with Taylor, Ridge quickly jumped into a new relationship with Brooke and urged Carter Walton to officiate their wedding immediately. It's evident that Ridge is fully committed to Brooke and their shared future. However, this doesn't guarantee an easy path ahead. While Brooke and Ridge are currently enjoying their happy moment, that blissful state might not last as long as they hope. Even though Brooke holds the title of Ridge's true love, he will always have concern for Taylor and her welfare. Ridge will definitely want to check on Taylor and ensure she's doing alright following their breakup and not relapsing into broken heart syndrome. We don't know yet who the new man in Taylor's life will be. Certainly, Taylor has come to terms with the fact that Brooke is the woman Ridge desires. After so many years of his waffling, she's gotten used to it. Fate continues to draw Ridge and Brooke back into each other's lives, yet his unresolved feelings for Taylor could pose an issue. Ridge's jealousy might flare up when Taylor starts to connect with a new man. According to B&B spoilers, Taylor is set to be attracted to another romantic prospect this fall, which is bound to catch Ridge's eye. There hasn't been any confirmation on who Taylor's next love interest will be, but Deacon Sharp could be a strong contender. Deacon and Sheila are not forever. Deacon and Sheila Sharp's marriage is facing significant troubles due to the entire Luna Nozawa affair. If Taylor and Deacon are on the path to romance, you can be sure Ridge will become upset. Ridge might have a problem with Taylor moving on with nearly anyone, but he'll be particularly furious if she moves on with Deacon. Given that Ridge doesn't trust Deacon and has always been wary of him, he may become protective of Taylor and attempt to intervene. There was a time a few years back when Brooke and Taylor chose themselves, that Brooke even tried to fix Deacon and Taylor up. Brooke won't abide any jealousy on Ridge's part over Taylor. Brooke will not tolerate any outbursts of jealousy, particularly if Ridge appears to be fixated on Taylor rather than concentrating on their next chapter together. This could serve as a new source of conflict for Ridge and Brooke as they embark on their remarriage, so keep an eye out for any distressing developments that may arise. It seems like Ridge always wants the woman he can't have, while he's with the other woman. According to the Bold and the Beautiful, Brooke and Ridge are unlikely to enjoy lasting marital happiness regardless of how positive they may feel about their reunion at the moment. As Taylor goes on, Ridge becomes envious. Is Brooke's reunion in jeopardy? Fans of the Bold and the Beautiful are currently wondering that question, and if history has shown us anything about Ridge Forrester, it is that he will always be unable to let go of Taylor Hayes, regardless of how loudly he declares Brooke Logan to be his true love. We need to go back and examine Ridge's recent actions in order to fully comprehend the extent of what is developing. In an attempt to ensure a reunion before the dust had even had a time to settle, Ridge rushed back into Brooke's arms after abruptly calling off his engagement to Taylor, in which his son Thomas Forrester had a significant stake. Ridge and Brooke sealed yet another chapter in their decades-long, on-again, off-again love story as they exchanged vows in record time, officiated by Carter Walton. Brooke saw this wedding as a sign of fate coming true, a confirmation that Ridge would always come full circle to her, regardless of how many detours he took with Taylor or other women. However, for Taylor, it was just another heartbreaking setback and a reminder that Ridge's pledges of dedication could change at any time. It was decisive for Ridge, who believed that by making Brooke his permanent choice, he had finally broken the pattern. However, as Ridge has never been able to fully remove Taylor from his life, storm clouds gather even as Brooke assumes the role of Ridge's wife once more. Even now that Brooke has a ring on his finger, he can't help but think about Taylor, checking in on her, worried about how she's feeling, and trying to keep her from experiencing grief again. Regardless of how admirable he may think it is, this tendency is harmful because it breeds jealousy. And the instant Taylor lets a new man into her heart, those seeds are going to explode into flower. The identity of Taylor's next big love is yet unknown, but spoilers suggest that she will meet someone unexpected this autumn, and the timing of Ridge and Brooke's purported fresh start could not be worse. 4 years, Taylor let that story to define her heartache. She has been stigmatized as Ridge's second option and the woman who constantly appears to lose him to Brooke. However, Taylor seems prepared to put an end to Ridge's story permanently this time. She's sick of being the victim of Ridge's vacillation, and she's made the decision that waiting for Ridge to let Brooke down again won't bring her long-term satisfaction. Then there is the potential for Deacon Sharp. Because of Sheila Carter's erratic behavior and the Luna Nozawa mess, Deacon and Sheila's relationship is already beginning to show signs of strain. Taylor might be the key to redemption for Deacon, a man who has always sought respect and respectability but has always been pulled back into trouble. Deacon's wish to change may seem both intriguing and salvageable to Taylor, a psychiatrist with a history of dubious decisions but also a great deal of compassion. Ridge will lose his mind if these two come into contact in a romantic manner. Deacon is already a source of resentment for Ridge because he is the man Ridge has never trusted, the one who previously tried to dissolve his marriage to Brooke, and the one Ridge thinks will constantly cause trouble for the ladies in his life. Every jealous emotion Ridge has ever had is sparked by the idea of Taylor, his ex-fiancée and the mother of some of his children, finding solace in Deacon's arms. Even though he doesn't currently have romantic feelings for Taylor, the thought of her moving on with someone he hates will make him feel more strongly than he anticipated. The issue is that Brooke will not tolerate it. Although she may have previously given in to Ridge's protectiveness, Brooke has endured decades of his vacillating between her and Taylor, and this time she plans to set a firm boundary. In order to compete with Taylor once more, she chose not to remarry Ridge. She thought that she had won the war for good when she married him. Brooke will feel deceived once more if Ridge begins to display jealousy or even suggests that he is disturbed by Taylor's developing romance. She is aware of Ridge's past. He consistently seems to desire the woman he is unable to have. He aches for Taylor when he's with Brooke and for Brooke when he's with Taylor. Women and almost every member of their extended families have been worn out by this cycle. Brooke has had enough, and if Ridge reverts to his previous behaviors, their reunion may end sooner rather than later. Ridge's jealousy is going to be intuitive rather than calculated, which makes for a fantastic dramatic tension. Even though he may genuinely love Brooke, he will be unable to control his feelings when he witnesses Taylor grinning with another man. Brooke will recognize his protective tendencies turning into possessiveness and realize that he is unable to let Taylor go completely. In the meantime, Taylor's recent romance might change who she is. She has been bound to Ridge for a very long time, her identity molded by his decisions, her heartbreak dictated by his indecisiveness. By providing her with a new romantic interest, especially one as contentious as Deacon, Taylor is able to take charge of her own narrative. Supporters will observe her as she ventures into uncharted terrain, falling for someone who isn't Ridge, risking her family's disapproval, and having the courage to put her happiness ahead of what Ridge or anybody else may think. Additionally, their coupling would be laced with danger and hope because Deacon is a guy on the brink. Deacon might regard Taylor as the first woman who genuinely believes in his ability to change, while Taylor would see herself as the stabilizing factor in his life, the one who helps him let go of his troubled history. Even though that might be convincing, Sheila's resistance to giving up Deacon makes it flammable. Ridge won't just watch in silence either. Ridge versus Deacon, Ridge versus his own jealousy, and Ridge versus Brooke's rejection of that jealousy are the three fronts of this conflict. Brooke has put in too much effort to get Ridge back to allow him to unconsciously relapse into Taylor's pull. The moment she notices a change in his focus, she will call him out. And the altercation can go out of control because of Ridge's protective attitude. Ridge may claim he's merely attempting to keep Taylor from making another poor decision, but Brooke may accuse him of still having feelings for Taylor. The reality will be evident beneath the words, though. Ridge's feelings for Taylor are not as hidden as he would like Brooke to think. Love triangles are the lifeblood of the bold and the beautiful, and this possible plotline gives the classic Brooke-Taylor-Ridge triangle a fresh perspective. Rather of Taylor pursuing Ridge, Ridge may end up pursuing Taylor, not to win her back, but to prevent her from falling in love with someone else. There are many dramatic possibilities in such irony. Imagine Ridge storming into Il Giardino, discovering Taylor and Deacon giggling over dinner, and experiencing an unmistakable twinge of envy. Brooke might realize her husband is once again emotionally involved with Taylor after witnessing that reaction. Imagine Taylor standing up and telling Ridge that his opinion is no longer important, finally freed from his shadow. That's the change the program needs, a triangle inverted, with Ridge watching as a lady he once took for granted makes a different choice instead of Ridge having to pick between two women. Naturally, this does not mean that Taylor and Deacon will stay together. Any hope of stability could be destroyed by Deacon's relationship with Sheila, and Taylor's past heartbreak might make her cautious about putting too much confidence in people. However, the mere prospect of them dating is enough to make Ridge and Brooke's reconciliation unstable. And that's precisely what The Bold and the Beautiful is all about: tension, unsteady love, and reunions that are always at risk of failing. Brooke might think that she is Ridge's fate, But when old scars are revived and new temptations present themselves, fate has a way of changing. Ultimately, Ridge is more envious of himself than he is of Taylor's new romance. Because he is addicted to the drama, the tug-of-war, and the satisfaction of being wanted by both women, he has never been able to really commit to one. Taylor's ego is shaken when he loses that dynamic as he moves on. Despite his love for Brooke, he also enjoys being the object of two women's adoration. He feels diminished without that. Taylor's new relationship is so dangerous because it makes Ridge face his own fears and makes Brooke face the possibility that Ridge will never be hers alone. Is Brooke's reunion in jeopardy, then? Of course. Before their happiness has a chance to stabilize, Ridge's envy has the power to destroy it. Naturally, the irony is that Taylor's attempt to lure Ridge away, exactly what Brooke feared, could occur not because Taylor is pursuing Ridge but rather because Ridge finds it intolerable that Taylor would be content with someone else. That turn of events provides the plot teeth and guarantees that Brooke and Ridge's purported destiny will be put to the test once more in the blazing furnace of treachery, jealousy, and love. The question is not whether they will split up, but rather how quickly and how widely they will do so.